Can you, it's too late, 10 seconds. Can you tell me if you hear me on a bridge line? Hey, 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 Adam Urbanski, also known as the Millionaire Marketing Mentor. And I've got another fantastic tutorial for you today. Today is all about how to use organic Facebook marketing to ramp up your coaching or consulting business to $25,000, $50,000 a month consistently. Now, I picked that number 25 to 50 because a lot of my audience is right in that range. They are usually below somewhere around between five and $10,000, between 50 and $100,000 a year, and they would love to start making this much a month if possible, right? However, $1 million a year, $100,000 a month seems like a big leap for most people. So this 25 to 50 is kind of a range where most people feel comfortable. At least that's what they're shooting for. And that's the range where I've been really successful helping my clients get to fairly quickly, as in within 4, 6, 12 weeks, they can ramp up to the place. Awesome. They can ramp up to the place where they are making again somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000 a month consistently, largely using only organic Facebook marketing strategies. So that's what we're going to dive into. Now, if you've never watched one of these trainings on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific, I don't do them all the time. I used to do them a lot more frequently. We had a few months of break. What's happening right now? I'm actually hosting a live action coaching call for my students, for my clients, and you don't see it here behind the scenes, but I'm actually piping sound somewhere else. That call is only on the phone and on a webcast. There is no video. So lots of those folks might actually end up watching me here as well. But what you want to experience is me actually starting that call in a moment, and then I'm going to dive into the topic. All right. Now, before we do this, really quick, while I'm doing all this stuff behind the scenes, if you could go ahead and let me know where you're watching this from, where is home for you. And maybe if you have a question about this organic Facebook marketing, ramping up your coaching consulting to mid five figures and higher, go ahead and type it in as well in the comments. I'll see if I can come back to that before we finish the training today. All right. So let me go into my actual computer and do this. I always do this weird thing, which is I start with a bit of a music. And let's see, where is my audio? Right here. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I like Mr. Austin Powers theme song. So there you go. I don't know if you're hearing this through the microphone or not. You might hear it a little bit. Let me turn the recording on. All right, all right, all right. Perfect. Hi, Bo. Bo is videotaping behind the scenes. Let's see if I can do this. Something really weird. If you're watching Facebook Live. All right, Bo, stay right there. Let's see if we can make this work. Uh, all right, all right, all right. Let's see. All right, there you go. There you go. I don't know if it worked or not, but maybe it will. We'll see. Yeah, I can try to turn the volume on this. Yeah, I'm unsuccessful in doing a bunch of things at the same time. Let me stop this here. All right, on Action Coaching Call, pushing the right buttons. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Action Coaching Call with yours truly, Adam Urbanski, also known as the Millionaire Marketing Mentor, and so affectionately called by so many of you so kind things as in the irreverent Reverend Dr. Professor Ninja Jedi Sensei Samurai and Master of all things marketing and persuasion. Of course, I do not legally possess most of these titles except for the Reverend because I paid for it 25 bucks on the internet. So there you go, internet Reverend Adam Urbanski in action. If this is your first time dialing in into Action Coaching Call, if you're brand new to our programs, Star 2 will get you in the queue so that we can actually start coaching in a few minutes. Star 2 will get you in the queue. If you're listening on a webcast, just send in your questions. Again, remember, state your question as clearly as you can and give me one or two sentences of feedback or context so I know what to be helping you with. But that's all I need. Don't give me long-winded stories. I won't be able to be reading all of that stuff. All right. Perfect. That's all I needed to say for this. Let's go into our Facebook Live. Let's see. All right, this is working. Perfect. So let's talk about our marketing teaching moment, which is how to turn your organic Facebook marketing into 25 to $50,000 plus. I've got clients that reach $100,000 a month doing this kind of stuff largely without any advertising, or maybe with just a little bit of pushing up some of the content. So I've got three things I want to share with you. Number one is mindset. Number two is strategy. And number three is actual tactics. So we're gonna go from a 40,000 feet view down to 20,000 and down to like feet on the ground. What do you actually need to be doing every single day to get these kinds of results? All right. You know, I have discovered a long time ago that 90% of success is psychology, also known as strategy. And 10% of success is technology, also known as tactics, aka action steps. Now, don't confuse this with just sitting there and thinking versus actually doing. Doing is very important, but what's very important is doing the right things. All right. But you can't, even when you do the right things with the wrong thinking, you still won't get the right results. Hence, 90% of success is psychology, 10% is technology. Most people get it in reverse. I'm sharing this with you because how you think about your approach to marketing on Facebook or anywhere will change everything. So, most people, when they think about marketing themselves using Facebook or any other media, but let's just talk about Facebook specifically, right? By the way, this is again one of your first times watching Adam. Look at that, right? My one-page notes specifically for this. You see that topic right here? Da 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 da. How to make 25 to 50 a month using nothing but organic Facebook. This is all I'm going to share with you today, very quickly. So most people, when they buy all sorts of programs or help or sign up for coaching programs, unfortunately are looking for a savior. It's like, I paid you the money, save me. I'm looking for an easy button. Now I shouldn't be doing anything. It just should be happening for me, right? They get rich quick and get rich easy. Now, here's the thing. I actually don't believe in either of those things, especially the get rich easy, but I do believe in make money fast. So one of the main shifts that you want to develop is that it does not have to take long for you to ramp up your business fairly quickly. In within a matter of days or weeks, you can be making 25,000 plus a month from your coaching and consulting. So that's, you need to believe this. So when the people say there is no such a thing as get rich quick, I always point out to things like the pet rock. You may not remember that from back in the 70s or 80s, but what most people don't know is that idea made millions and millions of dollars within 6 months. I don't remember the exact numbers right now, but within 6 months, it was multi-million-dollar business. The what it was called, the one Snuggie. What people don't know is that, yeah, it had a few failures, but once they dialed in the formula, it ramped up from like zero to 25,000, 25 millions a month. $25 million piping through the system a month, and it went from zero to that in a matter of months. So again, quick is relevant. Quick is how you think. You can get results very, very quickly if you think about it. By the way, coincidentally, I want to speak to something that most people trip over, which is they think, I'm not ready. I need to take 3 months, 6 months, 12 months before I'm in that place. Now, says who? It's what you decided in your mind. So that's shift number one. The no work idea, again, I talked about it a little bit. And most people are looking for, I want to automate, I want to push button, I want to build a funnel. And I'm telling you right now, F the freaking funnel. You know, here's why it's so alluring, because it seems easy. It seems like you can sleep at night and money will roll in, which is, by the way, a fallacy. For most people, it will never happen. And for majority of people that are able to accomplish this, it takes months, if not years, of figuring out how to dial things in so they can actually work passively in the background, right? So don't fall for that pipe dream. Instead, take the ultimate freaking shortcut, do the work. So most people in their mindset, they're looking for volume. They're looking for transactionally dealing with people. Like, I'm gonna put up the course, I'm gonna put up a program, you pay me a few dollars, I'll give you my shit online. Maybe I show up for a call somewhere, like arm's length dealing with customers. So the big shift that I need you to make if you want to make rapidly larger amounts of money is from transaction to transformation. You're not looking for high volume, you're looking for high value. Get yourself in the mindset of being a high value provider of services. You're a purveyor of elegant, high end solutions. You solve high end problems for high amounts of money. Get that through your mind and start getting out of dealing with transactions and building relationships. And that can happen quickly and it can bring a lot of revenue to you very, very fast. So instead of getting rich quickly doing nothing, instead of scaling and automating, what I want you to think of is connecting, providing value, and showing up and doing the work that needs to be done. Connect, provide value, and show up to be of service to others. All right. So that's kind of a big picture mindset. I could certainly do a whole workshop on it, but that's the highest point view I want to share with you. My gosh, Stacy Hartman, I have not seen you in forever. How have you been? Daphne, great to see you here. Juliet, thanks for dialing in. Bo is always watching. Let's see who else we have. Sabrina, awesome, awesome, awesome. Da 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 da. Awesome. Kat, I just talked about you, Kat, with Michelle the other day. Karen, awesome to see you here. Karthik, is it, did I get that the right way? I probably screwed that up badly. I apologize. All right. And that's it for right now that I can see. All right. Katarzyna always dials in from Ireland, I think. So awesome to see you here. And I still have not deployed those amazing pictures you took for me of the book, but they're coming. So let's talk about strategy. And I've got 4 points that I want to take you through on strategy alone. Strategically, man, this is another workshop in the making, but let me just give you 4 big points. Number one, you must have in place your perfect client persona. You can call it avatar, call it whatever you want. I don't care. Like perfect client persona is my languaging. I don't like avatar for a number of reasons. And don't get yourself too attached into, like, again, I'm looking for a mother of two that's 37 years old, and her birthday is in June, and she graduated from this and has been doing this and reads this, blah, 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 and is making 2.5, whatever incomes. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is ideally um, describe a person who's got very specific issues that you can address, and describe the benefits or their pleasure or potential they want to reach that they for whatever reason cannot get to. So again, the problems and the pain and the pleasure, the problems and the solutions that they want to accomplish, that they want to get rid of and they want to acquire. And you want to focus on, you want to understand where they are, but you also want to focus on where they're trying to get to. And you're speaking a little bit of both. You're speaking to where they are. So you will hear me a lot talk about people who are making somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month. You'll hear me talk about people who maybe got stuck in complexity of building funnels. Maybe invested a bunch of coaching programs, and yeah, they got a bunch of information, but they still haven't implemented enough to actually get results. All right, so I'll talk about where my audience might be, but I will talk about very much, look, this topic today, I'm talking about $25,000 to $50,000 in plus a month in coaching consulting. That's where my audience wants to get. My audience wants to make a larger impact on the world by connecting with more people, and they want to earn greater income by doing this, right? So perfect client persona, talk about where your audience is, where your audience wants to get to, but don't get too sidetracked by details like, well, I don't know all of this. I don't know where they read and all of this. The more you get to know them, the more you will understand this, but create as best as you can that profile. Why? Because I want you to write this down. This is one of the most important things that I have learned and acted on in my business. The who you want to do business with dictates what you need to create or what you need to show them, and how you need to put it in front of them. So the who dictates the what and the how. The who you want to do business with dictates what you need to sell and what they want to buy and how you need to market and deliver it. Right? Most people get sidetracked by how. Oh, how am I doing this? How am I doing this? Should I do? How am I put? How am I doing on my Facebook profile? Do I need to have a group? Do I need to do it on a business page? All the how. That's the last thing you need to worry about, and the audience will tell you how. All right. Now, the audience I like to correspond with and market to, like you, You are on Facebook, right? You like Facebook groups. I've had audiences in the past that weren't even on the freaking computers. Like once a month, they'll check their emails. We needed to completely go offline to market to that audience. And by the way, speaking about make money fast, we've built that business from zero to a $500,000 in under 6 months in a very small, obscure market with like one lousy website, one, two-page website. That's it. That's all it took. Nothing else was in place. We didn't need it. All right. So number one on strategy is the perfect client persona. Who, what, and how. That will also tell you where to start looking for them. Second thing that you must create is the offer. And let me just, I talk about it in other trainings, but if you're just catching this, I want to make sure that you understand a little bit about this. The actual what you offer to your clients has two parts. The first part is the behind the scenes mechanics. This is your frameworks. This is your mental and business models. This is your processes. I refer to it in my business as silver bullets. This is the stuff that when my clients come to me, I put into action to predictably, systematically deliver on the promises that I make. I must have this in place. It's sort of like if you went to a contractor and you said, build me an addition to my house. And the contractor, said, well, I can build you an addition. But then he had absolutely zero skills in terms of building and craftsmanship and carpenting and any of the electrical stuff, plumbing. He would not be able to deliver, right? So the contractor must have specific skill sets and processes. Well, the same thing for you. You must have specific skill sets and processes in place to enact those skill sets so that you can deliver the results your clients bought from you, because that's what your clients bought. Which brings me to the outer part of the offer, the actual offer, what your clients are listening for. And your clients or potential clients at this stage, they're not looking to understand like, well, I'm going to get 27 coaching calls. Each one will be 17.5 minutes long, and I'll be completing 24 assessments. Each one will take me 7 days to complete. So by the time I turn 147, I will actually achieve success. Hallelujah. All this amazing work for this little benefit. Sign me up. All right. I'm being sarcastic, and hopefully you're getting this. Nobody wants to know how hard it will be. They already know it's freaking hard. If anything, uh, you know, you need to give them hope that the hard work will pay off. And what your audience is buying is the results of the hard work. Now, don't hide the hard work. This is not about, oh, you're just gonna watch TV and eat chips and you're gonna lose weight. That's not what it's all about. In fact, I will come back to this in a moment. And but I can just go to this. So process is internal. External is that I call it translating from the language of doing to the language of benefits and getting. Your language of doing is what you will be doing. The language of getting is what they will be receiving once the doing is done. That's what people are buying. That's what you need to communicate. That's so important. If you don't have this in place the right way, nothing else will almost work. And by the way, if you don't know, ideally, your perfect client persona, then you can't create a perfect offer because you don't know what they want. You don't know how they talk about this. All right. They in the offer, let's see. One last thing I'll share with you. I like this idea of P90X, and you may have heard me talk about this. I'm a big fan of the program P90X fitness program. You may not know this today, but about a decade ago, it revolutionized the fitness industry. All you saw on TV and fitness commercials were sort of people, looking in the little spandex outfits and like going like, oh, look, it's my 5 minute a day exercise. Oh, look, I'm strapping 3 electrodes to me and they go ding, ding, ding. And look, I'm so fit, I'm so buff. And P90X burst on the scene and called bullshit and all of a sudden, look, this is total freaking bullshit, right? You can't be sitting on a couch having electrodes strapped to your ass and then go boom, 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 and you're going to develop a six pack. You want a six pack? Here's what's going to take. Number one, you want to eat right. And number two, you're going to work your ass off, all right? No apologies. It's going to be the hardest freaking workout you've ever done, but you're going to love your body. You're going to love the way you look. All right. If you're willing to do this, here we go. Give me a little bit of money. I'm going to send you my workouts. You go work your ass off and boom, results. Magnetic, magical. So I believe in P90Xing your offers and being controversial, calling out the white elephants, calling out what no one is daring to tell your audience. Everybody is promoting some sort of bullshit gizmo in a box. If you want to stand out and get against, and get some momentum fast, call out all the bullshit. You hear me talk about, after funnels. And yeah, it's a funny kind of thing to say. It fits my personality, but I truly do believe it. Like most people will spend a freaking year building the webinar funnel only to play it, put 3 people through it, and realize it doesn't work. Well, you just wasted a year. You realize in that year you could have made $250,000 just building connections with people. But you know what scares most people? Why they go and waste a year building a funnel? Because it's safe. They get protected in a little cocoon. Oh, I'm building the funnel. Oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm just putting it all together. F all of this. Go out there, build a relationship with 25 people, invite them to explore working with you, and 5 will give you $25,000 to work with you. Ta-da! There's your magic. You don't need anything. You don't even need a website, all right? You just need to know who they are, what they're looking for, how you can help them, and then you need to have a process to deliver on a promise and describe that promise clearly enough so they go like, I want it. All right. So this was number 2, the offer. Number 3 and 4, really quick, marketing and sales vehicles, right? And I'm going to dive deeper into this tactically, but on a strategic level, your marketing, you want to think about what kind of topics would attract your audience and also help you. By the way, why am I streaming this live to people who are not even clients yet? Well, think about it. Number one, I want to reinforce the methodology and the message to my existing clients who are learning in detail how to do this and whom we teach in detail how to do this and support and hold accountable. But I'm also streaming it to an audience who has not learned about this yet because I'm introducing you to the methodology. I'm sharing with you like this is the right way to go and build the business fast. And by the way, we do this through our Revenue Rev program, right? So I am teaching and I'm educating, I am serving you and I'm serving myself at the same time. So the right content mix, messages that attract the right audience, messages that educate, provide value, and also position you as the ideal solution to solve a problem. What you want to know is let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I know what else. In terms of content, what you want to do is what I call truncating the KLT factor. Truncate the KLT factor. KLT is know, like, and trust, right? And most marketing gurus just tout it as it's some sort of holy dogma. Oh, people only buy from people they know, like, and trust. Number one, that's bullshit, all right? Because if you go to a doctor and you've got a severe pain in your ass and the doctor says bend over, look, you don't know the doctor, you don't even like the doctor, you have not checked the diploma, you did not consume 77 articles, you did not, watch for their Facebook profile, you just went in there, you had a pain, they said bend over, I'll fix the pain, you bend over and the problem is fixed. You don't like them, but you trust them sort of by implication of the positioning and the situation. So contextual know, like, and trust is actually what can be developed very, very fast. And your content creates contextual like, know, like, and trust factor. And to expedite and truncate the development of know, like, and trust factor is actually Facebook. It's actually video, live video ideally. Why did I take this content, this challenge for myself to do 30 videos in 30 days? Because I've been slacking for the last few months. I've barely done a few Facebook lives. I'm like, I know that I need to do more of it. So there we go, right? But that's the way you want to do it through your content. And ideally, your content does 4 things. Number one, it attracts the right audience. Number 2, it engages that audience to have some sort of communication with you. All right. Number 3, it filters that audience. So many people will watch this and they will drop off. They don't like my goofiness. They don't like the way I talk. They don't like the way I look. They don't like my methods. They don't buy into it. It's great. They don't feel qualified or they feel overqualified, whatever. They filter themselves out. Perfect. That's what your content is supposed to do. Push away the folks that are not a good fit, attract more of the folks who are a good fit, right? So again, attract, engage, filter, and then you want to inform about what you have that could be of value to them, invite them to take the next steps if appropriate, and then finally, you want to convert them from looky-loo and prospective client to actually being a paid client. All of that, most of it is done through content and a little bit through actual direct connection, ideally through something like Messenger, Facebook Messenger. So the three parts or four parts of it, which is attract, engage, filter, and inform, that is your marketing part. And then the convert, that's your sales part. All right. So to sum it up really quick, your strategy, perfect client persona, your offer, which is your process on the inside and your offer on the outside, and then your marketing process largely through organic content, and then sales, which is you need to convert, you need to connect to people. So here's something else I want to talk about. There are people out there that they'll latch onto a clever idea like phoneless sales. You don't even need to pick up the phone to close your next high-end client. Now, I want you to think about something. I just brought in a new client for my master's forum, and it's a significant multi five-figure investment to be a part of it. And we have probably invested about 2, maybe 3 hours having conversations before making a decision that it's a good fit on both parts. Now, do you really think that I would trust Messenger Exchange to bring a client into my family of high-end clients, which I have never talked to in person, or like had on the phone or on via video? So don't get so in love with the phoneless tactic of funnel bullshit, because if you truly want to help someone, it's a mutual benefit, it's a mutual street. It's not only they evaluating you, you must evaluate them. Can you actually truly help them? Do you even like the person? Will you want to be coaching them on an ongoing basis, right? How do you know it's not some sort of clown class hole that you absolutely want nothing to do with? Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and talk to someone. But before you do this, you do the filtering process so that you actually know you're talking to the right person that has earned the right to encroach on your schedule, so to speak. All right. So, all of that done, all of that said, let's go to the last thing, which is tactics. All right. Thanks, Marnie. I appreciate that. And let's talk about tactics very, very quickly. I use this concept called spotlighting. And essentially, it's the art and science of turning cold connections into warm contacts, hot prospects, and paying clients very, very quickly. I think my record has been to this point something like 8 hours from the time that I connected with someone to the time they've been in my program. 8 hours. This is no pay, no advertising. It's just they saw something of mine. They raised their hand. We went through the spotlighting process. We had a conversation. Boom, they're now a client. So I can't tell you the whole thing right now. I'm against the time clock, so I need to just wrap it up. But I'll give you some ideas here. We start with things called Lighthouse Content. Now, Lighthouse Content, I'm going to give you an idea of what it means. Your audience right now is like a ship without a rudder on the stormy ocean waters at night in the fog. And they know that they're somewhere close to the land. And by the way, it's a very rocky territory. They're about to crash on the rocks somewhere. They can't see the rocks. All they see is the fog. And, they hear sounds and they try to navigate. They can't. They're lost. And they're looking for someone to guide them out of the fog. This is your Lighthouse Content. So your Lighthouse Content needs to be controversial. It needs to be P90X. It needs to call out the white elephants. It needs to call the industry bullshits and myths. If you just want to do the same thing, like, here's seven, ways to do this, or the list of 10 things to, it's like bullshit. You've got to get real with people, right? No list of 10 steps has ever helped someone create success. You've got to go into like what really is going on. How, if they were your client, if they were already paying you, what would you do? How would you grab them by the collar, shake them up and say, look, shut up and go do those 3 things. That will get you results. That's what you need to be focusing on. All right. That's the kind of content. So high value, impact, insights, controversy, calling out the BS, calling out, busting the myths. And also, in terms of types, those could be in-depth trainings. Those could be client raves or case studies. Those could be rants, like you are pissed off at something. I love rants. Whatever is your personality, use it, right? But it's the content that allows you to stand out. Also, in the content is something what I call it, kind of Gary Vaynerchuk, jab, jab, hook. So you provide value, and then some of the content can be direct ask for something. One of my favorite things to do, for example, is create some sort of report that you tell your audience to ask for. Like, for example, I could turn this, transcribe this, and essentially it's a three-pronged method to turn your organic Facebook outreach into a business that generates $25,000 to $50,000 a month, right? So I could use the very same title. Now I've got a transcript, I got a PDF, and I go to my regular Facebook profile, and on my regular Facebook profile, I make a post. Hey, I just documented my personal process, how I do this, and how scores of my clients, over 100 clients now, have gotten to the point where they generate multiple five figures a month using nothing but organic Facebook outreach. Would you like me to share this with you? If yes, just comment, give me your report. And what happens next? People start commenting, give me your report, give me your report, give me your report. What did I just do? Without any paid advertising, I've just gotten 25, 50. I've gotten clients, I've gotten as many as 300 responses from one post. And they were messaging me going like, what do I do now? I can't possibly talk to 300 people, right? Not quickly enough. So we need to have a process and a back end to handle it. But that's number one, right? So Lighthouse content. Now the second part is actually outreach. So not everyone that raises the hand, not everyone who wants to talk to you deserves your time. So this is the art of quickly evaluating who is a perfect prospect, who isn't. And you have to, this is another part of a mindset. You're not obligated to gift your time to everyone. There is no such a thing as, something for nothing. So the reason you're gifting some people some of your time and some of your attention at no cost is because they're indicating, look, I'm a serious potential client. I'm evaluating working with you and I meet all the criteria. Great. Let's play. If they don't meet the criteria, they just want to be a tire kicker and freebie seeker, you have zero obligation to give them any time and attention. If anything, you go, look, I just recorded this amazing training. Go watch this. It's going to help you tremendously. Once you get to the place where you're ready to actually explore working with me, then we'll revisit. All right. Next thing is, again, you initiate some sort of conversations privately. I love Facebook Messenger. I spend significant amount of time on Facebook. Zero of my time is spent in other people's territories or watching newsfeed. If you ask me what's in my newsfeed, I am clueless. Why? Because I've got a couple of places. I've got my own groups for clients. I've got this group, Fastest Path to Cash, and I've got my messenger where I communicate. I don't do email. I do messenger. That's where I spend my time. All right. That's not pleasure time. That's working time. By the way, why messenger? Because it's so quick. No, very few people have email notifications on the phone nowadays. But a lot of people, when they receive Facebook Messenger, it goes, ding, you just received the message. And they check it out immediately. It is very fast to reach out and connect with someone. You penetrate through a lot of noise. All right. And in our Rev Up program, we teach you this whole thing. We teach you some scripting, some ideas, some psychology behind it. I'm really truncating this to as high of a level that's still helpful to you as possible. Now, let me get even more tactical here with my favorite thing to encourage clients to do is kind of this 25-5-5-1 approach. So 25-5-5-1 approach. This is just a idea, the numbers you can modify, but essentially it works like this. You want to connect with 25 people a day in one way, shape, or form. They may watch your video, they may see a post, and ideally you touch base with them. Like you message them like, hey, good to connect with you. Or invite them to be friends if they're not friends with you, or respond to their friend request, right? Because they saw your post somewhere, now they want to be connected with you. You want to have 25 of those a day. It's very easy. You can do it in under half an hour a day. And by the way, there is no automation for Facebook. Anybody's trying to bullshit this, I can automate this. There is no automation. You can certainly make this more systematic. So instead of half an hour a day, you can get the 25 connections done in 15 minutes a day. But don't be afraid to do the work, because the connections, by the way, are also not like you randomly just clicking and going like, hey, let me connect with whoever can fog up a mirror. You want to take 60 seconds and look at the person, right? Is this someone you would actually want to go out and have a cup of coffee with? Is this someone that you would enjoy having as a client? Do they meet certain surfacey criteria? Right? I'm being as transparent and as detailed here as I possibly can without like giving you all my bestest stuff, right? But you don't want to again waste time on anyone. You want to be strategic about it. So that's 25 of those connections a day. 5 of those connections should turn into a deeper conversation, into an actual exchange like, hey, what do you do? What do I do? Hey, I've got something that could help you. So in my case, you may have received or be prepared. You might in the future receive a message from me that says, hey, I've got this amazing program called Revenue Rev Up Intensive. We call it RRI Game. I don't know if you're aware, but in 12 weeks, we often help people make as much money as they've made in the previous 12 months. Would you like me to share some? Would that be something that you would like to explore if this could work for you? Right? That's a specific inquiry. I'm looking for 5 people a day to say yes to that. 5 people a day. And usually when I have 25 connections, I can have 5 people to say, you know what, I'll explore this. It doesn't mean they're buying, they're not all clients, they're not all perfect fit. I just wanted to know that they're interested, they're open to exploring it. And from that, so that gives me 25 connections down to 5 connections like this that we actually explore talking about what I do. That leads to 5 calls a week, all right? And if you have 5 calls a week, one of them will become a client. One of them will become a client. Now, in my case, by the way, I've watered down the numbers a lot. In my case, 10 out of 11 conversations turn into clients, right? So I literally need to have 5 conversations, and 4.5 of them will become sales type thing. Nearly 100% conversion. That's highly magical. Most people will not get to that kind of stage. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of mechanisms in place. But again, if you do 25, 5 kind of deeper connections, that will lead you to 5 calls, and at least one of them will become a client. Chances are better than one, maybe 2, but let's keep it to 1. So you need to be selling things that are probably in about 5,000 plus range, because you're looking to make 1 call a week. That's about 4 plus, maybe 5 calls a month. That's your initial $25,000. We can accelerate from that in many different ways, but that's kind of an initial process to get you there. Obviously, if you're working with people one-on-one, you're going to run out of space for clients. So at one point, you need to go from one-on-one to leverage group processes. That's, again, the offer. I don't have time to go into this in detail. But one last thing, actually, I'll show you this. I had a couple of clients that 5,000 plus offer was not quite viable. But instead, we created a $2,000 offer, which was very easy to say yes to. And actually at 2,000, because it wasn't quite very involved coaching offer, a lot of the conversations would convert phone-lessly, just through messenger conversations. People would say, yes, send me a link, I want to be a part of it. Now, when that happens, again, I had 2 or 3 clients that we kind of went to that strategy, and then essentially we are looking for 3 to 5 sales like this a week. And I had a couple of clients that ramped it up very beautifully. They essentially went to 4 sales a week. So if you think about it, it's $8,000 a week. 4 weeks like this, it's $32,000 in business, all from just showing up, posting the right messages, being of value to people, connecting, informing, inviting, and when appropriate, converting to clients. All right. So there you have it. That's kind of this whole magic how we do this. And here's what I'm going to leave you with. It really isn't rocket science, but for you to figure it out on your own, if you don't have some sort of insight into how this engine actually works, what makes all the gears connect together and crank the whole mechanism, it will take you months to figure it out if you're able to figure it out at all. It's kind of like it's a 3-digit combination lock, but it's a pretty well-made lock. You can't pick it, and in order to stumble upon the right combination, you may get lucky, or it may take you forever, if ever, to figure it out. That's why, if you're at this place where you're like bumping up, less than $100,000 a year, and you want to go to multiple 6 figures a year, consider reaching out. Check us out. We've got our Revenue Rev Intensive program. Again, many of you listening on the Action Coaching Call, you members already, so I'm preaching to the choir. But if you're listening watching on a Facebook call, on a Facebook live, then definitely this could be for you. That's all I've got for you. I got to go and coach some clients. So, as always, thanks for being part of it. I would love if you shared a little bit of like what stood out for you. Give me some of those likes, give me some of those hearts if this was good, if this was valuable, and what's the one takeaway you are leaving with that you can immediately go ahead and implement for yourself and grow your business. That's all I've got for you. Clients, stay on the line. I'm coming to you in terms of Facebook Live. Here's to your success. Until next time, cheers.